G'day everyone and welcome to Chris Rankin's Music Crush. Just a bit of a quick one today really, just because I've got some great new albums to show you. Well, new to me anyway. Known about both albums for a fair bit of while, and one that also came out on Friday, but finally got physical copies of them on vinyl, so I thought I'd just show them. They arrived recently. Well, not that long ago, actually. So I thought I'd just come on and do a quick video while I have the chance before I get too busy again. Some great new releases that came out last Friday. What a week, incredible. Sermon of Flames. What an incredible album. Just dark and nasty and seething. Sermon of Flames is the name of the band, and the album is called I Have Seen the Light and It Was Repulsive, and that pretty much sums up what the album is all about. It is nasty, brutal black metal mixed with death metal with a fair bit of sort of noise all through it. Incredible. Fluisteraars has their brand new album out, their album from last year, Bloem. Fantastic atmospheric black metal album with that album cover that made you think that it wasn't that, because it was bright blue sky with red flowers all over it. But they've got another great new album out. Head Shrinker, their new album, mind-blowing stuff. Just absolutely mind-blowing stuff. Oxygen Destroyer, great sort of death thrash band, brilliant album. So much. Oh, Feral Lord, they've got a brand new album out. It's really good. Nunslaughter have a very good new album out. Really love that. So much great stuff. I'll put them all in the link to the video, in the description of the video. And of course, I'm not going to go into it too much because it's been shown so much in the VC and all throughout YouTube in the world. But yeah, got that on Friday. I have a tradition that I've bought every Iron Maiden album since after Killers. So Killers I bought as a little kid on cassette with the help of my sister. Probably about 5 or 6 months after it came out. I've talked about this before. So ever since then, I've bought every single Iron Maiden album on opening day. And so Friday, I made sure I picked this up. Not going to go into it too much. Lots of people have talked about it. As you can see, one of the discs is not there at the moment because it's still in the car. So every time I get in the car, I play it. I'm sure you all know this album very well. I like it a lot. I love it a lot. I've probably overall, in the whole scheme of the 17 albums of Maiden, it's probably about 9th or 10th for me. Yeah, I really like it a lot. But I won't go into it too much because it's, everyone's talked about it. And I mainly wanted to come on to talk about these two records that I received physically. Now, one of them has been around for quite a while. It came out in 2016. It finished very highly on my list of albums of 2016. And it had never had a vinyl pressing. I never got it on CD. Wasn't really the easiest CD to get either, but I knew this album very well and I played it a lot online and so forth, all the different ways of listening. I think this album is one of the best albums in modern period, last 10 years or so, something like that, of money riffs throughout the whole album. It has just got so many moments where you're like, oh hell yeah, that is just so good. Great songwriting. I love the name of this band. This is their third album, and the name of this album, was a big selling point for me anyway. And just everything together makes this really one of my favourite albums of the last 10 years. And I say it finished very high on my list of 2016. They're a band out of the capital of Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin. The simplistic way of describing them would be stoner metal. Very, very much all about the riff and quite catchy but the songs are a little bit longer and the whole album just flows beautifully. And anyway, would have been about 2 months ago now, I saw it become available for the first time ever on vinyl, and I jumped on it. I just jumped on it instantly, and I received it last week. Oh, and incidentally, I've got a brand new stylus on my record player. I upgraded and went to the Autophon 2M, and I mean, it's night and day. You know, I'm not a massive guy on, you know, having the best, most expensive tech on your record player and all that, but I thought, you know what, it was time to get a new cartridge anyway, so I thought I'll upgrade and get the Autophon 2M. And yeah, it is just night and day difference. It is just so different. The sound quality on everything is incredible. So now I'm almost like, I want to go back and play so many of my records, like, whoa, that's even more incredible than they were before. So, but anyway, back to this record. So I got the new stylus. These two records turned up in the post, and this is the one I've been talking about just now. So the band is called Droids Attack, and the album is called SciFi or Die. I mean, it just doesn't get much better than that for a big science fiction fan like me. Having an album called SciFi or Die is already a massive head start. As I say, this is their third album. And I've always loved this album, and I just playing it on this format and record and just enjoying it for all it's worth. I still can't get enough of it. It's just brilliant. I mean, first of all, right, before you've even heard one note, the name of the band, the name of the album, and then that cover, so good. And it's really done well. The LP is just laid out so beautifully. Double disc, and it's really spread. It's just so well done. It's so nicely done. The sound is absolutely fantastic. So it's 3 sides all up. I think, yeah, one of the sides is etched. Yeah, that's the etched side there. Of course I go to that side first, but yeah. So there we go. I'm not going to show you the other one as well. They're both pretty similar. When I first got it out, it's got a little tiny bit of a warp to it. I notice sometimes when I'm getting coloured vinyl, if it's had a bit of a long journey and it may have been sort of stored a little bit on the way and held in warehouses and things, sometimes the coloured vinyl has a bit of a warp. It doesn't affect the playing in any way at all, just not at all. So that turned out pretty good, because when it turned up I thought, oh no. But yeah, the warp's kind of insignificant really. It sort of looks more than it's really worth. So that's the gatefold inside. Not much real information as far as on the gatefold, but sort of nice artwork. That's the back there. There is a little sheet inside. Just artwork. There is lyrics on there. The only problem is, I would say, is the way the lyrics are printed with that background. They are kind of hard to read. You sort of need to tilt the light on it in the right way, but boy, now I'm really nitpicking. Check out the song. It's kind of hard to pronounce, but I'll do my best. Mashenomak. The song Mashenomak, and the second part of that song called Mashenomak Strikes Again. The riffs in that song are absolutely to die for. They're just so good. But the song that first drew me into this album, and it's become one of my favourite metal songs of all time, is a song called Brahma Astra, track 4. The riff on that song is one of the best. It is just so meaty and catchy, and you just, yeah, that is brilliant. But this whole album, so good. I can't rave about this enough. And now I've finally got it on record, and it's getting even more airplay than I've ever had before. I used to play it a lot, listen to it a lot digitally, and now that I've got the physical, it's just, yeah. And then coupled at the same time as getting the new stylus. And the other one that turned up, now this is a 2021 album. I've talked about this album before. Definitely going to be very high up on my end of year list for 2021. And since I've got the actual physical record of it, I'm listening to it even more and more and more, and I'm discovering even more things. And I think now it's really cementing its place in the top 10. And I'm talking about the album by the band Dune. It's spelt D-V-N-E, but it's pronounced Dune. And yes, it was inspired by Frank Herbert's story and then the movie Dune as well. That's where they got the name from. Their sort of lyrics are science fiction, but with warnings about environmental issues and the way things are going and all that. They've had one album before this, came out in 2017, and both albums have that sort of theme about them, blended in with sort of dystopian science fiction as well. Just such a brilliant album. Eterman Anchor is the name of it. I mean, look at that artwork. Just absolutely gorgeous. Now, straight up, if you want to just be very simplistic in its description, you'd say it's progressive metal. But there's quite a bit of atmospheric sludge to it as well. Good way to maybe describe it is if you combined early Mastodon with modern Enslaved and bits of Opeth, the Ocean as well. A little bit of Between the Buried and Me as well, but not so much. But definitely early Mastodon and then modern Enslaved with a bit of Opeth as well. That's a good way of thinking about it all. Just amazing riffs, amazing songs that just pull you in and you just completely pure escapism. You forget where you are and what you're doing. They just draw you in and you just want to keep listening to them again and again and again. They're from Edinburgh, Scotland. And as I say, this is their second album, 2021. I need to get a plastic sleeve for this one because I like, with the double, certainly with the double gatefold, I like to store, obviously the record's outside of the gatefold. So that's why I was holding it a bit weird like that. Let me show you the record. This was a Metal Blade release. Absolutely beautiful looking record. That's the custom there, and it's got the track listings. Double LP. Absolutely magnificent record. I can't rave about this album enough. As I say, it's going to finish very high on my end of year list. Oh, there's yeah, that's right. Not so much information on the gatefold, but look at that picture. Who cares? Really, would you rather read would you rather read the liner notes and so forth, or just gaze at that while you're listening to the record? Some really good tracks to check out. A song called Towers, really good. Another brilliant song on here is a track called C14 or SI Roman numerals 14. Both incredible, just good riffs, progressive but not overly ridiculously long, just everything you want. So good. I love this album. The reason I held off on this a little while is I'll show you you do get it's a Metal Blade, so of course you get the poster, but you also get obviously so there you go. I mean, you got the liner notes on here and the lyrics, so there's no need to that means you can leave the gatefold free to do that sort of thing. And then of course when you open the gatefold like that, you get the full picture as well. Just a magnificent album. Just I can't rave about it enough. So yeah, check out the songs that I mentioned on there. A really good album. And I was about to say, the reason I held off a little while on getting the physical copy, it was quite expensive. I got a Amazon birthday voucher from my sister who lives in Houston, Texas. She sent me an online voucher. So I thought, well, you know what, I'm going to use it to get that album because it was reasonably expensive, and then the shipping as well made it even more, so I used that voucher to get that, so that's why I held off. But yeah, I couldn't think of a more worthy thing to use the voucher on. So there we go, everybody. I tried to make this one a bit shorter, only 3 albums to show, but I just really wanted to show it, and I thought it might take a little while before I get the opportunity to show it again. So thanks for watching. I'll try to keep up on top of things, watching all your channels as well. I always love to do that and comment, and I appreciate you watching mine and commenting on mine. It means a lot. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll catch you all soon.